Hey guys, welcome back to another video here on the channel. You join me, of course, at the 2024 Chicago Auto Show in none other than the Hyundai booth, because this is what I was most excited about here at this show. Now, if you guys follow my electric trip up here in the 2024 Kona Electric, that video may come slightly later, so you guys probably not have seen that yet. I did actually stop at a Hyundai dealership to charge where they did have the all-new 2024 Santa Fe, and several of them, as a matter of fact. So this is not going to be my first reaction walking up to Santa Fe, but it is going to be my first Calligraphy fully loaded Santa Fe walk-around tour and impressions of this vehicle. Of course, the Calligraphy does have many unique options that are going to be a first for the Santa Fe lineup and some Hyundai products in general, including fingerprint recognition and some of the new technology that they are implementing in their vehicles. But in this video, of course, we're going to take a look at the standard gas Calligraphy, and they do also have a white hybrid Calligraphy over there, which are very similarly equipped. So probably going to focus on one, but I will go ahead and walk over, show you that one if it by chance is a different color combination on the interior, and see what the all-new 2024 Santa Fe Calligraphy has to offer. Like we do know pricing and packaging, and as you guys know, this vehicle comes in the upper $40,000 price range, so just below that of a 3-row Palisade Calligraphy, about $4,000 to $5,000 less as equipped, but does offer, like I said, some unique first features for Hyundai and their vehicles. So the Santa Fe in front of us is finished in the Serenity White exterior with the forest green and beige two-tone Nappa Leather interior. This is actually a very cool color combination because, as we can see on the outside, gone are the paint match wheel arches for the Calligraphy trim level, and they are replaced with a gloss black version. So you're going to see a lot of gloss black elements on the outside, including the wheels, some of the exterior cladding, and here in the Serenity White definitely gives it more of a stormtrooper look, which may be a love it or hate it type of deal, but the two-tone green and beige interior is definitely very stunning as well. Now, starting at the front end of every Santa Fe in this new next generation, you're going to find full LED lighting. So you have LED projector headlights, daytime running lights, and of course your turn signals are going to be implemented in those headlights as well. Like I mentioned, a lot of gloss black here at the front end, and this new design language is much more boxy versus the outgoing model, which had a more fluid, rounded design language to it. And I'll go ahead and insert some clips of these vehicles side by side so you get a better understanding of what the new Santa Fe looks like next to the old one. Of course, there is a Palisade sitting back there, so you kind of can get an idea of what these two vehicles look like. And believe it or not, the Palisade is still noticeably bigger than the Santa Fe when they are parked next to each other. Now, one cool element is they are implementing some of the active aero bits from the 2024 Konas as well. So these are going to be active aero depending on the cooling needs and the system overall requirements. So those will open and close as needed. We have front and rear parking sensors, 300 surround view camera system, the whole 9 yards in terms of their technology, and of course highway drive assist 2 here on the top Calligraphy. One cool aspect that I enjoy is the black Hyundai emblems, especially here on this white paint color. Definitely stands out and gives it a unique element. Now, one way to tell a gas Calligraphy versus a hybrid Calligraphy, which is like that one over there, is you will have a 21-inch wheel on the gas Calligraphy, where I believe it is going to be a 19 or a 20-inch over there on the hybrid. So a little bit more fuel efficient, I assume, with a smaller wheel design, but these are going to be the 21-inch alloy wheels found on the top Calligraphy in more of a, I guess, satin black finish versus the gloss black, as you can see around the rest of the vehicle. Now, if you're curious about the tire size, these are going to be a 245 45 21-inch Pirelli Scorpion MS all-season tire. Coming back to the driver's side, of course, we do have your LED turn signal integration here with the cameras on the bottom. It does not look like they do have the puddle lights, which are a little bit unfortunate, but they are going to be heated, do have blind spot detection, and does not appear to be auto dimming except for the interior rearview mirror right there. One aspect I like here in terms of the design is going to be the Santa Fe badging here on the front fender. Nice gloss black pillars around the entire length of the vehicle, and the Calligraphy as well as the XRT will feature the integrated grab handles, so you can have easier access to the roof of the vehicle. I'm not exactly sure why some of the other trims don't get that feature, but that is going to be exclusive to XRT as well as Calligraphy. Now, coming to the back of the Santa Fe, this is kind of the more controversial aspect in my opinion, and I've heard from others as well, is the nearly completely flat back of the vehicle. It gives it a very boxy, tall, of course a very wide opening for cargo and everything like that, but it definitely gives it a very unique design, and certainly some people are going to love it and some people are going to hate it, and it has been compared to kind of a Land Rover-esque type of vehicle. But you can see the LED lighting here on the side for the side marker, There's the H pattern for the LED tail lamps, and there is going to be LED license plate lighting with, of course, the black Santa Fe logo and lettering across the entire tailgate with your H-Track badge on the passenger side, because this one is going to be all-wheel drive. So you guys have to let me know down in the comment section below what you think of the exterior design. I will say it's not quite as polarizing as the press photos after seeing it in person. So I'd say if you have not seen one in person, give it some time. Make sure to check one out at your local dealership, because these are going to be arriving here very, very shortly, as I saw firsthand on my way up here. And now let's go ahead and take a look on the interior, because this is one of the aspects that I am most excited about, especially seeing the green and beige two-tone leather interior. So starting out here on the door panel, you will find a lot of the green elements here on the inside on the door, as well as some of the dash and other hard plastics. So up top, this is going to be a soft touch material with some accent stitching. Some nice lighter gray two-tone kind of faux wood with the silver accent trim that wraps into the two-person memory driver's seat. There's the beige armrest, very similar to that, I guess, of the, I believe, the Sonata and some of the other Hyundai models, where it wraps up a little bit higher. Power windows, mirrors, and locks. You do still have power folding mirrors, excuse me. That is one difference between the Palisade and the Santa Fe, is it does have power folding mirrors. There's a good amount of storage down below, and of course you do have your Bose premium audio system. Santa Fe here on the door sill plate, also finished in the dark green accent. And there is your adjustments for the power driver seat. Of course, the Calligraphy as well as the hybrid Calligraphy do get the driver relaxation function. And one element that you guys were commenting on my video about the pricing and specs is that some people have claimed that there is going to be a massage feature. Well, unfortunately, I am here to report that I do not see that massage feature. I only see the relaxation button, which is right here. Basically, if you hold this down, it will automatically extend the leg rest and go into the relaxation mode. And unfortunately, I do not see another button for an ergo motion or a massaging driver's seat. Just all of the adjustments for the leg extension, the four-way lumbar, and other adjustments like that. So a little bit unfortunate, but that is a key difference versus the Palisade if you are considering that. There's a quick look at the dashboard. Stepping inside, of course, we do see a very similar aspect to some of the other Hyundai models currently offered, including the two-tone leather-wrapped steering wheel found in the Palisade Calligraphy as well. There's your adaptive cruise and some of your Hyundai safety systems on the left side, audio multimedia on the right. There's the 4 dots for Hyundai in Morse code. Like the silver accent trim at the bottom, kind of gives it a 4-spoke design. But immediately around the rest of the interior, you can see a lot of the new next generation technology from Hyundai, including their infotainment system and the fully digital cluster, which are going to be 12.3 inch in size. One unique thing that you do see for the first time is sort of an eye monitoring device for the driver assistance technology, as well as the fingerprint recognition here to the left side. So you can activate, register your Hyundai driver profiles with a fingerprint and go ahead and activate and start the vehicle using just a fingerprint, as well as the digital keypad here in the center console, which we'll get to here in a second. Now to the left of the steering wheel, you find your gauge dimming, electronic parking brake, power tailgate, as well as traction control off, manual tilt telescopic steering column. Of course, it does have automatic headlights with auto high beam assist, as well as rain sensing wipers. They have moved the push button gear selection for the transmission into the column. So you now have the twist dial, very familiar in that of the new Kona trims, specifically the electric and some of the higher trim levels of the gas models. The Sonata and many of the upcoming revised Hyundais are going to be having the twist lever here, which was first seen on the Ioniq. But other than that, very similar design language to some of the new refresh vehicles, such as that of the 2024 Sonata. Really do like this UI. I do have a dedicated video here on the channel going over that in a little bit more detail, so make sure to check that out if you're curious. Of course, you do have the dual zone automatic climate control up front with a single zone in the back, which we'll touch on here once we get to the second and third rows. This is a small touchscreen display, is where your heated and ventilated seats will be controlled through. I wish this was enabled so I could show you guys, but I do like this small touchscreen display. And you can see you do have all of your physical hard touch buttons for the shortcuts in the audio multimedia, including a volume and tune knob. So very glad that they kept that here in the Santa Fe. It would be nice if that wasn't so much gloss black plastic around it, because I do foresee that showing fingerprints, dust, and maybe scratching a little bit easier than normal black plastic. Now the Calligraphy does get the dual wireless charging pad, so this is the only trim level in the lineup to get the dual wireless charging. A little bit unfortunate. And one thing that stands out to me is the UVC light here, or the button to activate the UVC in the upper glove box compartment, which you'll see right there. So this does have UVC sterilization up in that compartment, activated with this button right here. Of course, USB-C charging and data ports throughout the entire vehicle, so Hyundai is slowly switching that over. Two good size large cup holders behind that. And we do have the 2-direction opening glove box with LED lighting inside. So you can see it does open like that. It is extremely deep. So that is quite crazy just how deep that is. That goes down at least to my elbow all the way to the floor. And if you want to access it from the back, you simply flip it open from the second row and it flips the other direction. So that's a very unique aspect. And you still have the floating center console design with 12-volt charging, USB-C, and additional storage space beneath that. Now coming up to the headliner, you will find the micro suede beige lighter headliner, very, very soft, similar to that of the Palisade Calligraphy. You have your digital camera mirror with garage home link on the bottom. There's the gloss black dome lighting. It is going to be completely LED. You have your Blue Link SOS, your front and rear sunroof controls. So one is going to be the front sunroof. Now that they have separated it, instead of a continuous panoramic sunroof, it's going to be 2 different panes of glass, much like that of the Palisade. So this one opens, of course, and the rear one does have a power activating shade with this button right there. Unfortunately, that is deactivated, so I can't show you guys, but a little bit of a difference there. I will say the glass in the front is on the smaller side. I really did like the last generation Santa Fe where it had the one continuous panoramic piece of glass versus the separate ones, but that is the way that Hyundai has moved to. But that's a quick look at the front seat. Let's go ahead and take a quick look in the second and third rows, like I mentioned. So coming to the second row, you'll see a lot of the materials will follow through from the front. You still find the manual sunshades for the second row occupants. Does have 3-stage heated seat found here on the door panel with some cup holders and additional storage space. And one unique aspect about the Calligraphy is going to be the second row power seat availability. Now this is only found on the Calligraphy, so if you're looking at any other trim level, it will not have these second row power seats. But to run through some of the adjustments down here, you do have a thigh extension, or kind of raise and lower the bottom of the seat, tilt it forward and back for additional support. You have, of course, the backrest, which is fully power via this switch right here. This one is to unlock and lock basically the sliding function, because that is still a kind of halfway manual, halfway automatic, if you will, as there's still a lever found under the bucket seats for the second row. But essentially holding this down or pressing it will unlock that and allow you to slide the seat into whichever position you are wanting. So kind of an electromechanical, if you will, there. And there is a button up here on the backrest portion for easier access. It will automatically retract and then fold the back of the seat forward so you can gain easier access to third row seating. So a little bit weird, kind of halfway manual, halfway powered or automatic, but I'm sure it will be easy to get used to over time after owning this vehicle. Now, sitting in the second row seats, I think this driver's seat is very far back, so this is a little bit less legroom than normal. You still have a little bit of additional storage here on the backrest, kind of hooks for bags or other storage, USB-C charging on both the front seats, and then there is the power adjustments for that side of the vehicle for the front passenger seat if you want to adjust them here from the second row, which is very nice. Looks like you do have additional storage space and slide out here in the center console. Beneath that, of course, you do have that center console lid that opens in both directions. There is nothing here between the 2 pieces of glass in the middle, which actually is nice because it kind of gives it a more open feel. The second row piece of glass actually starts a little bit farther back than I was expecting and goes more into the third row rather than covering most of the second row. So Hyundai, I guess, kind of shifted that piece of glass back a little bit farther so it covers both rows, give you a more open feel. And I actually kind of like that design versus having it just a little bit farther forward and covering mostly the second row versus that of the third row. So interesting design there, but you do have LED lighting with grab handles, all the usual stuff. Looks like AC vents are found in the B pillars. There's all the ambient interior lighting, which looks fantastic here in the back. Go ahead and jump in the third row really quick so you guys get an idea of some of the space back here. I will say off the bat, it is not the easiest thing in the world to gain access to, but certainly not too bad. And in terms of third row legroom, I can see my knees are up quite high, so they are at a steep angle, not the most comfortable thing. But in terms of actual legroom, it's really not too bad. You are able to recline the seat backs for the third row, but we do have AC vents, USB-C charging, of course your cargo cover hooks if you option that accessory and have the third row seats folded down. Hopefully that will be able to be stored in the trunk space. But yeah, as a whole, not a terrible third row experience, but much smaller than that of the Palisade, obviously. And then looking at the climate controls in the back, we have a 120 volt outlet, USB-C, and the rear AC on off, as well as the fan speed integration. And then there is the cargo area. You can fold down these second row seats via these buttons on the passenger side. So that's going to be a look at the third row. Now taking a quick look at the cargo capacity. Now, one interesting thing you might have seen is the taillights switch down to the lower rear bumper when the hatch is open, just for legal reasons. But you do have all of that LED lighting, and there's a better look at the climate controls, including the fan speed, 115 volt, 150 watt outlet, as well as those power second row seats. And beneath the floor, you do have storage for that cargo cover, like I mentioned, just like that of the current Santa Fe, as well as the Palisades, that can be stowed beneath the floor or put in place right in that if you have these third row seats folded down. I guess there is a 12 volt outlet back here as well, and there is the subwoofer for the Bose premium audio system. Here on the passenger side, the Calligraphy will have, looks like does not have power lumbar, but does have most of the same adjustments, including the leg rest that the driver's side does. That is a little bit disappointing that it does not have lumbar adjustment, as that's typically what Hyundai does on their vehicles, including the Palisade as well as the current Santa Fe. But the seat shape and the seat design is actually much different. I'll have to go ahead and sit in these and see what the overall comfort level is on a longer basis. So once these, of course, hit the dealerships, I will take them out and spend a little bit more time with them. And of course, I might get loaned one a week from Hyundai themselves. And there is a look at the glove box. It does have a storage tray up here, as well as LED lighting inside, and is going to be damp. So yeah, that's a quick look here at the all-new 2024 Hyundai Santa Fe Calligraphy. Once again, Serenity White with the beige and dark green two-tone Nappa leather interior. Let's go ahead and take a quick look at this hybrid variant over here to see if there's any differences between the two. Like I said, the one main difference is going to be the wheel designs. They are going to be slightly smaller in a different aerodynamic design, likely for a little bit of additional efficiency. And it looks like this one does have the black interior. So here is a look at a Calligraphy with a black interior versus that of the green and beige. As you can see, really no difference, except the door panel itself is mostly dark materials, which some may prefer. I think actually I may prefer this over the lighter one, but I like that Hyundai is still offering a choice to the consumer as to which interior option best suits you and your lifestyle. Looks like all these same adjustments for the seats. Coming to the back, looks like all this is going to be the same as the gas Calligraphy over there. Of course, you do have the integrated grab handles still on the hybrid Calligraphy, which are lockable and everything like that. So yeah, that's going to be a quick look here at the 2024 Hyundai Santa Fe Calligraphy in both the gas as well as the internal combustion. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video and or found something helpful. If you did, make sure to hit that like button below. It greatly helps out the channel, these videos. Subscribe if you haven't already, and make sure to stay tuned for additional coverage here coming at the 2024 Chicago Auto Show, as well as these vehicles behind me. Now, if you're interested in a Calligraphy, it is going to be a little bit longer of a wait in terms of seeing these at local dealerships, as they've just started to go into production and should be out over the next, I would guess, 4 to 6 week time frame or so. But if you are looking for an SC through a limited, those are pretty much readily available and showing up to dealerships right now. So you can purchase this vehicle right now if you're looking for a lesser trim level, but if you're holding out for that Calligraphy, just know that will be a little bit longer of a wait, much like that of the hybrid variants as well. I could see coming out in the next maybe 2 to 3 months or so. I don't have an exact timeline on that, but hopefully you guys, like I said, enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to hit that like button below. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. I think this is a definitely change of pace for Hyundai from some of their other design language, including, you know, the Tucson and the outgoing Santa Fe, but I will have more time versus the Santa Fe and the Palisade in the future. Once these, like I said, hit dealership lots, I can put the two vehicles side by side and give you the exact sizing, dimensional differences, and everything like that. But if you are curious about some of the feature and spec differences between a Calligraphy Santa Fe and a Calligraphy Palisade, I do have that video here on the channel already published, so make sure to check that out, where I go over pricing, feature differences, some of the dimensions and stuff like that. I think that is quite helpful for the average consumer. But like I said, I appreciate the support here on the channel. If you're looking to support us just a little bit further, consider becoming a channel member or using the affiliate link down in the description below. And with all that being said, I'll see you guys in the next one.